The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Here we go.
Here's the first carry of the game for Zach Moss. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Right away, they rack up 10 yards on their first play from scrimmage. CD, always more eyes on these night games, and they started it off nicely there on that run.
Yeah, and you're exactly right. Don't think for a second these players don't know and understand that. They want to impress their peers across the league. They also want to win the ball game. That's the way to get things going.
11 MT paint. 11 MT paint.
They're passing here, Joe Burrow. He's got his man. That's the rookie from Florida State. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. A good pickup there, 26 yards. Now on this first drive, looks like they want to get that vertical passing game going early.
And they did, and what a warning shot they just fired. If you're not going to back up and play coverage deep, we're going to attack you all game long. And once you adjust to that and you start to back off, then that opens things up underneath. A really nice start for them. Great way to get the game going.
So in Raven territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 34. Now it's Burrow. Open man downfield is Chase. He's got it. And he'll go out of bounds inside the 15-yard line. Chewing up big yardage. Another nice gain there. This one goes for 20. Those are the kinds of plays right there that show you why he's the number 3 man in the NFL in terms of receiving yards.
Also tells you there's a full combination of what he's got going in his game. You name it, from route running to catching the football. That's why he's able to produce those types of numbers.
From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10.
11 Thomas.
Burrow looking to pass. On the right side, open is Gesicki. And the Bengals are going to be set up with a 1st and goal on a pass play that moves them all the way down to the 1.
Boy, no problems getting down the field here on this opening drive. They've looked really sharp in the early going, and they've come up with some big plays already. Here's another. That's going to set up 1st and goal.
1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road.
Here we go.
Now they send a man in motion right. And they're going to give it to him on the jet sweep. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase, his first rushing touchdown of the year. And the Bengals are on the board first on the road here in Baltimore. With these Thursday night games, sometimes you get those quick turnarounds. You wonder how a team's going to start. They started really well.
Everyone's always wondering, going into a Thursday night game, who has their legs, who has the overall health of a team. But mentally, if you get that early edge, the other team might think to itself, it's been a short week. We're not really ready to go. You might run them into the ground that way. That's why getting that early score means a lot.
And Hill will opt for the touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 right at the 30. The NFL's leading rusher in 2019 and 2020, Derrick Henry. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. An option give now to Mitchell. He's brought down at the 34. Call it a gain of 4. You talk about this Bengals defense. This unit coming into this one ranked number 20 against the pass in the NFL.
And the easy thought process is that stopping the run is the least of their problems because they're facing the number 1 passing team in the NFL. But if they don't stop the run as well, then that just opens up the passing game even more. They've got to do both.
So many times when we talk about coverage, we're just about a defender running with a receiver, but a big part of it is understanding where the football is, finding it. In this case, when it arrived, it wasn't a surprise, and he was able to bat it away.
They only punted twice in the win last week as he gets this one away. On the return is Jones. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And the Bengals take over 1st and 10. The Bengals drive about to get going. They're riding a 2-game winning streak into this Thursday nighter. How easy is it when you're on a roll to stay on a roll given the quick turnaround?
Well, you would think it'd be pretty easy because everyone's locked in practice and meetings because everyone feels good about themselves. And for coaches, this is where they have to tell themselves, don't add too much. Don't worry about game plans as much as players. So look at your play sheet and think, give it to the guys who play best and don't worry about the rest of it.
They work now on 2nd and 9. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. He's got a man complete. And now off to the races down the right side. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase. He scored on the ground and through the air. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Another impressive drive, so they're 2 for 2, 2 touchdowns. Charles, a great start to this ball game for them.
And one of the words that's really worked its way into our lexicon is stacking. They've stacked momentum each time out, and not only on offense. Between those touchdowns, defense held, forced a punt to get the ball back, and they played awfully well in this one. Both sides playing at optimum level.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. As mentioned, this one of the hottest teams in the NFL, riding that winning streak into this one, but now playing here on Thursday night. Do you think that this helps or hurts their momentum?
Well, ordinarily, I'd say it hurts the momentum because now you get that short week. But when a team's playing as well as they are, it actually allows them to down focus and only worry about themselves and less about their opponent. So when you're playing well, you just worry about the things you're doing well and let the opponent deal with that.
And he's just going to run right into that big old defensive end, and that play going nowhere. Despite the completion, they're going to wind up losing 3 there. 2nd down. Now it's Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Bengals grab it, and they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line. The pocket collapsed around him. I know we talk about it a lot, but a QB has to have that sixth sense, doesn't he?
He really does, and I know of one team at one point was training their quarterback with that time frame, and anytime he didn't get rid of the ball within the right amount of time, they would blow a horn or blow a whistle to show him this is what that time is, just what you're talking about, training him to understand this is the amount you have, make sure the ball's gone. Didn't happen in this case.
We'll take it inside the 25. Now this defense for the Ravens, they were terrific last week in the win over Denver.
There's a little bit of lightning talking with the defense coordinator about their performance last week because the feeling was that it was a good, solid performance. They did what they needed to do to get the job done and get the win, but definitely a few lapses that they're looking to correct.
Here's 2nd and 7.
11-90.
Now it's Burrow. He's going to have the hook up here to Chase. And brought down, but not before they get it inside the 10 to the 7. He's already topped his receiving output from a week ago, and we're just in the first quarter as that's a first down.
And remember, this drive started off following the turnover, and they've taken no time working their way down the short field. A nice connection there, and now they're looking at a first and goal.
They'll run here with Moss, and he is going to wind up losing yardage here, as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. Start of the second quarter, and it's the Bengals in control of the football as they come up now, second and goal. Moss again. And nowhere for him to go again. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage. That's it. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Partner, I know we're in a goal-to-go situation, but my goodness, think about running the ball here. Not even a thought, is it?
Defensively, they're in a prime spot.
And I think the defensive guys are probably expressing themselves to them as well. I wouldn't run it here, guys. You might want to try throwing it.
Well, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
12.
Now Burrow. This is caught. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Jamar Chase on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals have moved out in front by 3 touchdowns. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 21-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Well, CD, you kind of feel like they're in a bit of a danger zone right here because now you're down 3 scores, and I know we're in the first half, but the way this offense hasn't been able to generate anything, you feel like they probably need to get something going on this drive, right?
Yeah, and sometimes I overuse that this is an important possession, but I think this has to be the possession where they come up with an answer because only a few teams in league history have ever come back from a 4-score deficit, and if they don't score here, that's what they could be facing the next time they get the ball.
And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Yes, it's the first half, but we'll see if that stuff there on 3rd and 1 comes back to haunt him.
I hope you don't mind, but it's not going to stop me from putting a check mark next to this play. Let's look back as this game progresses and see if this is one of the key plays in the game, even though it occurred early.
So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Bengals will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. Right now, everything they touch turns to gold. This is their 4th possession. Touchdowns on their first 3 possessions. I mean, this defense, they can't seem to stop them. It's like they're on skates.
Great analogy, Brandon, because they are pushing them back and winning everything at the line of scrimmage. They've just been laying down tracks towards the opposite end zone. So to themselves, all they're saying is, if we don't make a mistake, there's no way they can stop us. Certainly not the way they drew it up in the playbook, but that's why they love this guy back there. He sees things breaking down, and he's more than capable of finding an escape route and still getting a decent gain.
Got a man here, it's Wilson. And they'll get to him right away at the 40. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.
Here we go. 11 MT, 11 MT. 11
Now
Thomas.
Burrow changing things up here.
Dot.
They'll run on first down with Moss. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. Another strong gain on the last two plays. They've moved it a combined 33 yards. So in Raven territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 46.
11 MT, take. 12, 12, 12.
And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action. Coming up at halftime, I'll go from one personality, that's you, Charles Davis, to another one in Orlando, the coach. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL. You and Jonathan Coachman, both larger than life.
No doubt about it.
But you're stuck with me in this booth,
yes,
and he's miles away and smiling.
And happy.
11 MT, take. 11 MT, take. Dot.
Burrow will throw. Over the middle, that's caught by Chase. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
On 2, ready? Gun, gun. Dot. 11, 11, 11, 11. Dot.
Here's Burrow. He will find his man Chase complete. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 29-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
11, 11.
And now they'll shift things around.
Dot.
They'll go up the middle here with Moss. And he finds a little bit of room, enough for 4 yards. It'll be second down.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning in a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
11 MT, 11 MT. Dot.
From the 25 on second down. Burrow. And it'll be intercepted. Kyle Hamilton picks it. And the Ravens are going to have it here at their own 15. Well, he's certainly not been afraid to take some chances downfield. Now, look, it's paid off for him a couple of times. That time, not so fortunate.
And that's where I want to start, what you said. It's paid off a couple of times. So his aggressiveness has been good for his offense for the most part. So he throws an interception there. No one likes that, but I would not rein him back in. The return on investment thus far has been pretty good. 2 touchdowns to 1 interception.
And this one is going to be off the mark, too far out in front. This, the second meeting of these two teams. You might recall they met back in Week 5, and it was the Ravens getting the road victory in that one, so now they'll look to finish off the season sweep here in Baltimore. Jackson. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
They've given him some different looks here defensively in the early going. He's only hit 2 of his first 5 passes. With a big third down coming up, he's hoping he's got a play dialed up that can take advantage of whatever the defense throws at him.
Hey, hey.
Jackson now. And here's Mitchell with a catch out of the backfield. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts, as it'll come with 15 seconds to play in the first half. It's been a very one-sided game so far. They got to change what they're doing right now, don't they? You can't wait till the halftime speech to make an adjustment.
No, you can't, because if you're doing it right, you're adjusting from series to series, and they need a big adjustment here to try and put some points on the board.
Again, Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's second down.
That's some good closing speed there defensively, because that looked open for a minute. But that's great work with the ball in the air. Never gave up, converged on his man, and broke the play up.
Hey, report. Report. Touch.
Jackson. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
Well, congratulations to them. They come through defensively with another stop. And let's face it, this secondary, they've gone unchallenged so far in the first half.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. This time they stay on the ground, fighting through. Oh, that's just not fair, and now room to run. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. So 2 quarters down, 2 remain. Charles and I return after the break. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Ravens set to receive the football, trailing here as we resume action in the 3rd quarter. And Hill will opt for the touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
They juked him, and they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Play action. Now Jackson. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
I know sometimes we can get fooled when we watch him make catches, as we just saw him do there, because he really looks like a wide receiver the way he goes about his business.
Yeah, 230, 240 range.
Yeah, not super huge. Maybe not counted on to be that inline point-of-attack blocker that we used to have in the good old days. But you can flex him out. You can run wide receiver routes with him. You can make him a primary target, and that's how he'll shred a defense.
Still fighting for more. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, as we've learned over the years, just because a guy plays left tackle doesn't mean he doesn't have run blocking abilities. And we just saw it there. Controlled the line of scrimmage, created a big gain.
That's kind of a bonus. He's there to protect that high value that you have back under center, but he creates space in the run game.
Yeah, not only can he dance, he can mash, too.
Here's 2nd and 10. Off the option, here's Henry. Pretty nice, aggressive run there before being brought down just inside of the 30. 58 yards rushing for him now to this point.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
Throwing is Jackson. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete. Throwing the football, he's not as sharp as he was last week when he was over 70%. Right now, he's under 50%.
Well, that comes from extra game film, extra time. You know those guys watched him all week, saw how precise he was, and constructed a defense to try and chip away at that, and thus far they've been successful. Partner, this is certainly turning out to be one of those days. Here we are in the second half. They're being shut out. Offense is doing nothing. And you're just saying, please, come on, give us something here to your kicker. But even this is no good.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go.
They'll start on the ground with Moss. And taken down just shy of the 40.
They know that old expression, it's not my night. It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He'll swing this out to Moss. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down.
11, 11, 11. 11, 11, 11, 11. 11 mighty. 11 mighty. 11, 11. Dot.
Now back to throw. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. The veteran Kyle Van Noy in there to drop him.
And we all know how talented this guy is who's calling the signals for him. But even the best in the game, they can struggle against a good, cohesive zone coverage. Can't find a gap in the secondary quick enough, and he ends up taking a sack.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Burrow. Under pressure, they got him again. Multiple players getting home there for an 8-yard loss.
Well, this is what happens when you get behind the chains, as people like to say. When you have obvious passing situations, hard to vary it up and fool a defense.
And you hate those situations if you're an O-lineman, right?
Oh, without a doubt, because you just know they're coming, and you never know exactly how. They can be exotic in their blitzes, or their athletic ability just takes over.
11, 11, 11.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
Zone coverage there, and they were playing deep. That makes it obviously a little bit harder to run by guys. And that time, there was not much of a window to get the ball in there, and it winds up incomplete.
He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. Here's Hardy set to return. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
They keep it on the ground. This time it's Henry. He'll take this to the 46. Call it a gain of 4 on 1st, and that'll make it 2nd down. One quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Baltimore. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. From the 46-yard line, a 2nd down and 6. They go play action with Jackson. And this is thrown to the sideline. No receiver in the area, though, and that's going to bring out a flag. We saw it, too. Nobody in the vicinity of that throw, and that earns him the penalty.
Yeah, you've got to at least get it close enough to one of your own guys in order to dodge the penalty.
So now it's 3rd and long, because remember, they also lose a down on the grounding call. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete. But the pressure there on 3rd down, forcing the errant pass. 4th down coming up.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
No, we changed it.
Now flags come in. I think one of the Ravens got going a little early. And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. That's caught. It's Flowers. And now this is going to be close. The defense says they stopped him, and they did. John Harbaugh not afraid to go for it this time. Doesn't work out. And that will force a turnover on downs. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
So fourth quarter, a nice run there to start this drive. Charles, what do you think the split will be here between run and pass?
Well, partner, I think it'll lean towards the run, but this is also not a time where you just totally do that.
That's caught inside the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 60 yards. And the Bengals have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. McPherson on for the point after. Now the PAT would extend their lead, but there is a flag on the play. Uh-oh, flag comes out here. This is going to be roughing the kicker.
When you're going back there on the kick block, you've got to go to the right point. That didn't happen. Ran into the kicker. The penalty flag had to come out.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10, right at the 30. They'll try and start this drive in the air.
They'll run the screen with Mitchell.
And he gets this to the 35. Good for a gain of 5.
And a really nice play call there to start the drive, especially if you're a team that has a little bit of a reputation for throwing it downfield. You come out and you think maybe you can catch them off guard a little bit, and they did. Little screen pass, backdoored them, and that time worked well for a solid gain.
Give him a gain of 5 on the completion, and they'll be faced with a 3rd and inches. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
The offense on 3rd down tonight, 3 for 7 so far in this game. They're looking at 3rd and the nose of the football. They'll try and pick it up with Mitchell. And he will have a Ravens 1st down, at least at first glance, as he'll spot the football just beyond the marker. They find a way to convert on 3rd and inches. It's caught inside the 25. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Here's Jackson to throw. To the right side, into the hands of Flowers. And he is into the end zone for a Baltimore touchdown. Zay Flowers, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Ravens are finally into the end zone here in this 4th quarter. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and it's now a 28-7 ball game. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Cincy offense about ready to go here on their next drive. They're looking at a 3rd straight win here if they can hold on. And he'll find Chase on the right side complete. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They may want to go back to that one. First play of the drive, good for 15 and a 1st down.
11. It's just set.
Now it's Burrow. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. More than one defender there, and that's a loss of 5 on the sack. I think a lot of time when we see a sack, you say, well, you blame it on the offensive line, the quarterback, but here, maybe you just tip your hat to the defender. What a play.
Yeah, and I think sometimes they just get a sense of the play before the ball's even snapped. Kind of like a sprinter anticipating the gun in a race. They're off, and guess what? The quarterback's down.
And the play goes nowhere. Losing yardage back near the 40 at the 39. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first timeout. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning.
Here we go.
Off the play fake, here's Burrow. Pressure comes, and down he goes.
This is a little hard for me to compute because I'm watching sack after sack happen, but somehow they're still behind in the game. I would expect all of this defensive pressure to translate to them taking a lead, and thus far, it hasn't happened. Time's winding down. They don't want to waste this type of performance from these ace pass rushers.
44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. That'll be a 43-yard punt, just a single yard on the return.
And it will be 1st and 10 as they take over.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive.
And after all those wins that they've reeled off, it seems that they finally have met their match in a big fourth-quarter hole. But still, what a run it's been. It feels like they have not lost it forever.
And he'll be out of bounds at the 25-yard line. Decent start to the drive, but let's face it, they need a lot of things to go right in a short amount of time, down 3 scores.
Yeah, they're going to run their 2-minute offense here in this game, but this is for future games. Can they get better and be ready for the next time, hopefully with a chance to win?
And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. Nowhere to go downfield, but he's able to get out of bounds and stop the clock here with a first down. Jackson from the shotgun. And he can't escape, and down he goes.
Loss of 10 as multiple defenders get to him.
So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a 4th down.
We can make this one pretty simple. Locked up all of his progressions downfield, forced to get it to his running back. But how about the way they ran to the football and knocked him down to force a 4th down?
And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down.
So after the big play on 4th, here's 1st and 10.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
Multiple defenders getting home there for a loss of 11.
So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And it was their defense that really paved the way to this victory as they allowed the 1 touchdown, and that was all she wrote.
Almost want to do the defense chant right now, right? Defense with a couple of claps in there, but no one wants to hear that from me. Let's just talk about how they got it done, though. When you take care of every aspect of the game, shut down the run, control the airways, right? Make sure the quarterback is harassed. This type of performance you get. They can't fashion together any offense, no consistency, and they just took control.
So for Cincinnati, they keep pace for a playoff spot as they move to 7-3. And they'll get a few extra days to get ready for next week.